Hello, friends of the interwebs. Paul here with a little background video about my three famous YouTube kitties, Oscar, Ginger, and Zoe, how I met them, our YouTube adventures, and of course, what they mean to me as part of my family. I met Zoe and Ginger when I was living in a little apartment complex like this one. I had a ground level apartment, and so I could look out this window and I could see whatever wild animals or stray animals were roaming around the area. Zoe was the first one to come along, and just a really beautiful, sweet little kitty, very skinny. I couldn't help but feed her, and of course she hung around. And I had recently moved to Wichita, and it just felt like having a cat in the apartment would bring some warmth and some life, and it really did. Ginger came along a little while later. I felt like Zoe could use a companion, and there was this little yellow kitten, and so got Ginger checked out at the vet and brought her home. And the two of them, they sort of had a rough adjustment period for a week or two, but they eventually settled in. Zoe was the only cat that Ginger ever accepted. She did not like any other cat. She really did not like Oscar that much. She tolerated him after so many years, but she did seem to have some amount of affection for Zoe, and here's a lovely little picture I got of them napping one day, one of my favorites. One other cat that came along while I was living in this apartment was a little mama kitty. She was pregnant. I managed to get her trust and get her inside my apartment. And the next morning, after a vet checkout, the next morning she gave birth to three little kittens. So I had Zoe and Ginger at the time, and then literally within just a couple of days, I went from 2 cats to 6. Well, 3 adults and 3 kittens in a 1-bedroom apartment. It was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun. Those kittens were just hilarious and fun and adorable. And I got homes for Mom and all the kittens, and so it's a good deal all around there. And this is where I met Oscar. This is a walking park not too far from my home. I was here returning back to my car in this parking lot, and clear over on the other side, back by the electrical box back there, was this little orange cat that started meowing at me, and he started walking towards me. He had this really bad limp, but he came straight at me amongst all the, there's probably 50, 70 people here, but he decided he wanted to hang out with me, so I sat down on a curb, and we got to know each other for a little bit. I could see he had a really badly infected foot. That's what was causing the limp. And he started rolling around and being cute and everything, and I could tell he needed some help. He was kind of dirty. Looked okay generally, but you could tell he needed some help. So I walked back to my car, and he followed me. I opened the door, and he hopped into the car, went over to the passenger seat, turned around and looked at me. I said, okay, well, I guess we're going home. So that's a quick little background story of the 3 cats. And the name of the cats. Zoe was suggested from a friend of mine, and it just seemed to stick. Ginger, I thought she looked kind of butterscotch flavored, and I tried to call her Butterscotch. It didn't work, though. And then one evening I was looking at her. I thought, well, it looks like a little gingerbread cookie. And I thought, well, Ginger, that's her name, is Ginger. Oscar was such a silly cat. I named him the other silly cat. I had Zoe, Ginger, and this other silly cat. That turned into OSC, and that turned into Oscar. So that's how he got his name. So, around 2007, I started experimenting and playing around with video production. A friend of mine at work had taken a class in film production, and just seemed like it'd be a fun hobby. So, made a couple of little videos, and one of them had my cats. And my mom said, "Oh, your kitties were so cute. You should make some more videos with them." And So I created a video and sent it around to film festivals. Nobody was interested in it. After a while I got discouraged and I said, oh, you know, what the heck, I guess I'll put this thing up on YouTube and my friends and family can at least watch it. And for a couple of months it really didn't do much other than just 10 or 15 views per day. And then April 2008, one Saturday morning, I woke up and the video had just blown up all over the internet. It was #1 on dig.com, reddit.com, front page #1. It was on, I forget, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, New York Times had a little blurb on it, Huffington Post. I can't even remember all the different websites where it populated. Eventually I found it on a website called viralvideochart.com, the 20 most popular videos on the whole internet. It came in at number 14 early in the morning, and then it started climbing up, and then by afternoon it reached the #1 spot on viralvideochart.com. I had the most popular video on the entire internet as far as I was aware. It cooled off over the next couple of days, and it dropped down, and the next weekend it did the same thing. It climbed back up and it hit the #1 spot again. So 2 weekends in a row, the most popular video in the world, Engineer's Guide to Cats. It was just an absolutely wonderful, magical experience, and I'll never forget it. And these 3 little kitties here in the picture were a big part of why that happened. I've come to learn in the years since then, there's a huge amount of luck involved with viral videos, and you can be just absolutely brilliant with your writing and video production and music and so on, and it may or it may not go. It's just the nature of the beast. So after quite a few years of cat videos with my buddy TJ, of course, and his kitty, Sweet William I, the one-eyed pirate cat who appeared in a couple of the productions, Zoe and Ginger went to chase rainbows and sunbeams in the sky. Oscar, he's still with me, and he's been a good, solid companion and a steadfast friend for all these years, and he was particularly important for helping me get through a cancer diagnosis. In 2020, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma. It's an aggressive cancer. It's a treatable cancer, luckily. I had a pretty large tumor attached to my spine back here between my shoulder blades, and it was squeezing my spinal cord, and I was losing sensation and control of the entire lower half of my body from about the bottom of my ribs on down. I never got completely paralyzed, but I was heading that way pretty quickly. So, emergency surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, all of this during a pandemic with this deadly virus running around. The chemo did suppress my immune system. There was a study done. About 1 in 3 people getting a particular drug, 1 in 3 people with COVID would die. So it was a very, very serious situation. It was an extremely difficult and stressful time in my life. And my kitty cat, Oscar, was there the whole time, my steadfast friend. He was my furry little rock. And so today, my cancer's gone. I avoided COVID, and Oscar helped keep my sanity. He was a tremendous comfort. He's on the sofa here behind me right now, napping, in fact. And so he's always close at hand. That's Oscar and Ginger and Zoe. I miss the other 2, and I'm enjoying my time with Oscar, and he's even helping me with new cat videos, and the fans still love him, as you can see here. So I've thought about writing a book about all the YouTube adventures, making videos, going viral, attending the Cat Video Film Festival, meeting Grumpy Cat. So let me know in the comments if you think a book about the whole YouTube adventure would be something you'd be interested in. Let me know. And hit the like and subscribe and so on and so forth. And check me out on Patreon, or there is a PayPal if you want to make a donation for cat videos.